I start this? So I don't know what I'm gonna do for this video because I have no ideas and I haven't posted in how long? But meh. Just meh. Hey guys, so if you don't remember, I'm Ashley and this is the Dumb Squad channel, and I'm dumb. So yesterday I was in the nurse's office at school because I wasn't feeling well. And this girl walks in like 20 minutes after I go in. So I'm just laying there looking at my phone. And then I'm just reading Wattpad stories because it's me, and Wattpad stories are fucking amazing, man. So I'm just reading Wattpad stories, right? And then this girl, she's just staring at the wall and looking like she's tripping out of her mind, man. And then I'm like, so how high are you? And she's like, oh, I'm pretty fucking high, man. And I'm like, oh. She's like, yeah, this doctor gave me these pills because I think she said a bladder infection. She had this bladder infection and her kidneys were failing and if it entered her bloodstream, I'm guessing. No, it's called a UID or something like that. Or a UTI. UTI, that's what it's called, I'm pretty sure. So she had this UTI, so her kidneys were failing, and then if it went to her bloodstream, she could die from it. And so she has to take these pills twice a day, and they make her trip balls, man. She was tripping so bad. She said that everything was blue, and then she read off the side effects, and it was there was nausea and vomiting, explosive diarrhea, and then she said she either shit her brains out or she'd puke her brains out, and that, and then what happened was, and then she listed more, and then she got to the severe one, so it was chest inflammation, inflamed lungs, so she couldn't breathe, and then there was a bunch more, and then my response to that was these pills are death, and she's like, I know, right? Even the colors, they were black and yellow, and I'm like, now I'm curious. I didn't take one, of course, because they're not mine, right? But I was like, now I'm curious on how it actually feels, and she's like, I feel bad for anyone who had to go through this. I'm like, oof. And then she's like, oh fuck, what'd she say? And then she's like, oh wait, no. Then the security guard walked into the nurse's office because that's his little break room, right? When the nurse isn't there, because the nurse is only there on Thursdays, and guess what day it is today? Today is Thursday, and I'm not at school. Then me and her are just talking, right? And then we realize we're in the same clothing class, so the same fashion class and sewing class, and we're like, oh cool, we know each other, we're in the same class. I totally forgot her name, but she knows my name, and I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna try and sit next to her. And then we started to talk about this couple that's in our class that this couple that's in our class that always cuddles in class and is really annoying, and we started talking about them and how we both really dislike them, but we didn't say anything rude about them, we just shared our interests in them. And then we became really good friends near the end, and then she's like, I have to take 7 more of these 2 pills a day. You know how bad it's gonna be? I'm like, hey, at least it's only a few more days and stuff. And then I left the nurse's office because the secretary of my school said that I had to go back to class because I should be fine now. It was just a minor headache and that my arm hurt. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So I went back to class and she stayed there for a few minutes and then she went to her class for last period. And that's basically how that turned out. And then, yeah. So I started saying that story before, like, I even did an introduction, really. I'm just going to tell you random stories. So this next story is about my 4 weeks of sickness. So I went to camp, and I thought I just had allergies because I'm allergic to legit the whole world. But then when I got home from camp, my allergies didn't go. So I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm allergic to this part too. And I'm like, no. Like, a week passes after camp. I got back from camp, and I was still sick. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just sick. I was coughing really bad, and every time I coughed, like, more than 3 times in a row, I got a really bad migraine. And, oh my god, it hurt so much. Like, Tylenol and Halls were my best friends in that 4 weeks, okay? Like, this was legit, like, 6 weeks ago. Well, the beginning of this was, like, 6 weeks ago. And then it, like, died down a little bit. Like, it wasn't that bad anymore. And then I'm like, oh, no, oops. Then my body was like, oops, it slipped. You're sick again. I'm like, oh. Like, I still have it now. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I started throwing up. And then I got someone else sick, and I felt really bad because she got really sick. I'm sorry, Jackie. But yeah, she got really sick. Like, she had bronchitis and, like, pneumonia. Like, she had bronchitis and pneumonia put together, basically. That's what it felt like to her. And, like, that's what it felt like to me, too. And then my sickness was gone, like, 2 weeks after that. I had less than a week of recovery from that sickness until the beginning of, not this week, but, like, last week on, like, Monday. I had to go home. I was at school for less than 20 minutes, and then I went to the nurse's office because I was coughing that bad and had that bad of a migraine, okay? And then I got my photos taken for photo day. This was on the 24th of September. Yeah, I got my photos taken for photo day, and then I got on a bus and went home because I was not feeling it that day. I was so sick. I was coughing the whole day, and, like, I slept that whole entire day. Like, legit. Like, I was sleeping on and off, waking up to coffee and shit. And then my mom, I was like, Mom, can you go up the hill with me? Because, like, up the hill, there's, like, a 7-Eleven, a Burger King, there's, like, a Little Caesars. You guys know what Little Caesars is. It's a pizza place. And then there's a Subway and, like, a whole bunch of other little, like, places you can get food. And there's, like, a grocery store. And then there's a dollar store. I don't know if you guys know what the Dollarama is. It's Canadian. So, like, yeah. Anyways, there's those places. I asked my mom if she could go up the hill for me and get me something to eat from any place. I didn't care. And she's like, here's $11.50. Go get yourself a pizza and some ginger ale. Like, I got a coffee, obviously, because I did not want no ginger ale. And that coffee made my day better than it was. And, like, I had such a bad time walking up that hill. Like, it felt like I was going to pass out. Like, I was so nauseous, and, like, my migraine was so bad. Then I called my mom from the 7-Eleven at the top of the hill after I got my coffee. Oh, yeah, there's a Tim Hortons up there, too. But, like, I called my mom from the 7-Eleven up the top of the hill after I got my coffee. It was like, Mom, can Grandma come pick me up? Because I cannot make it back down that hill. And she's like, just take the bus with the change you have left over from the pizza and your drink. I'm like, okay. So I had, like, $2.70, and I had $2.70 change, and there's $2.75 to get on the bus. He obviously let it go. And then so I got on the bus, right? I got on the bus but this is after I got the pizza, because I had to get the pizza from Little Caesars. And then my mom wanted the pretzel crust pizza, and I don't like the pretzel crust pizza, but I still got it anyways, because I've never tried it at that point. I know now that it's disgusting and I hate it, but my mom likes it. Anyways, I got home after I took the bus home. I got home and put the pizza on the took the pizza up with me up to my room, and I ate 2 slices of it, and then I went to sleep. 2 hours later, my mom, I wake up, I'm on my phone. My mom texted me. She's like, "Are you gonna go get that pizza? If you're not, then give me back my money." And I'm like, "I left 2 hours ago and got it." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I woke you up when I walked through the door because my mom went back to sleep, right? She was taking a nap because my mom, she was sick too." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then my brother and sister were home from school at this time. I'm like, "Oh." She's like, "Oh." And then she's like, "Bring the pizza down then." I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "There better still be 6 slices left," because it was an 8 slice pizza, and everyone usually has 2 slices of pizza, right? Because there's 4 people there. Me, my mom, my brother, and sister. Those are people at home. Was my dad was at a time at work. So then, okay, there's 6 slices left. I gave my mom the 6 slices. My brother got 2. My sister got 2. My mom got 2. And then I went back upstairs, went to put on my shoes, put on my nice warm jacket, went to my friend Catherine's house because I was feeling a bit better after I actually got some sleep because I kept on waking throughout the day. I kept on waking up on and off with cough attacks. So that happened. And then I went to my friend Catherine. I'm like, "I need my charger, man. My phone was gonna die." And I got my charger, and then we hung out for a bit and got Burger King. So that's how that day went. And that's the end of that story. Okay, guys, I hope you liked this random ass video. I'll be posting sometime again this week and then not for a while because I can only post on this channel when I'm at my grandma's because she has the tablet that I'm using my grandma's tablet for this video, and because this account is logged in to this tablet and only this tablet. So yeah, okay. Bye guys.